So the creator of Watchmen, Alan Moore. We all know Alan Moore, right? Nice guy. Created some of the best comic book stories that we've ever read. You know, Killing Joke. You know, he's done some good stuff. So recently here, the great Alan Moore has said that superhero movies have blighted the culture. Now, this is a direct quote from Deadline. Most people equate comics with superhero movies now. That adds another layer of difficulty for me. I haven't seen a superhero movie since the first Tim Burton Batman film. They have blighted cinema and also blighted culture to a degree. Several years ago, I said I thought it was a really worrying sign that hundreds of thousands of adults were queuing up to see characters that were created 50 years ago to entertain 12-year-old boys. That seemed to speak to some kind of longing to escape from the complexities of the modern world and go back to a nostalgic, remembered childhood. Dude, I get it. He is extremely bitter. And for just reason. I mean, the whole thing with the Watchmen rights not being given to him by DC, I understand that. But for you to just come at the entire culture of geeks and nerds, you're whipping the horse that brought you to the farm, bro. I mean, he's being very disingenuous and he's speaking from a place of ignorance. You can't just crap on the entire culture of comics in general just because you feel that superhero movies are being oversaturated. Now, even I agree to a certain extent, and I mean this is to a very slim margin, that at one point, yeah, it's like any movie that was in the theaters that anybody went to go see was a superhero film. Now, as somebody who enjoys every single one that comes out, even I felt like at one point, like, okay, this might be getting out of hand a little bit. But at the same time, it's what's keeping the box office alive. It's what's keeping people going to the theater. It's keeping the art itself alive. So, and not to mention, bro, you said that the last movie you saw was the Tim Burton Batman film. You know how many great comic book movies have come out since then? You mean to tell me you've never seen The Dark Knight? You didn't see the first Avengers? Come on, man. Really? There's so many other great films that came out after that. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just me, but he just sounds like a cranky old man who just needs to just step away from it all. I mean, completely. Like, no interviews, nothing. Just cut it out. I mean, you gave us Watchmen. You gave us Killing Joke. You gave us a lot of great stuff. Appreciate what you have done and appreciate the culture that made you to a certain extent. You know, we wouldn't even know who you are if it wasn't for comic books. Not the movies, but just comics. And we wouldn't have the movies without comics. They even made movies based on your creations, man. It's the reason why 16-year-olds even know who you are. But maybe that's just me. I don't know. But yeah, Alan Moore, knock it off. Ladies and gentlemen, blurs and nerds, freaks and geeks, live from DYSG Studios, this is Do You Speak Geek, episode 50. Welcome, a third time. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Do You Speak Geek. I am your host, Nix. Man, this is episode 50. I've been doing this for a minute. You would think I'd have a little more than 50 episodes since I've been doing this for over a year now, at least have 52. But sometimes things don't work out the way they plan. And you gotta take a week off here and there, whatever. But anyway, we made it. This is episode 50, a milestone episode. Shout out to everyone who's been rocking with us so far. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for listening, your subscriptions. Thank you for following. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for just everything. I thank every single one of you out there who have been rocking with DYSG since the beginning, and everyone who is rocking with DYSG now. We appreciate you so much. If you listen to the podcast for the first time, welcome. If you are an avid listener, welcome back. The podcast can be found on Spreaker. Spreaker is the home team where you can go and subscribe, like, and even leave comments on the podcast. Other podcast outlets like Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Podchaser. You can find us kind of everywhere, man. DoYouSpeakGeek.com. That is the central hub for everything DYSG. You can go there now and click on links, see pictures, see what's going on with DYSG, with everything that's coming soon and everything that is currently popping. Follow us on social media, Facebook at DYSGFB. New Twitter account alert, Twitter at DYSG_tweets. And as always, Instagram at DoYouSpeakGeek. We just hit 100 followers. Shout out to the amazing Aaron May, who won the set of X-Men pop figures. He will be enjoying those. So shout out to you, bro. And also shout out to Couch Chat. The Do You Speak Geek YouTube channel is the only place where you can find the Dono and Daddy Show. Please be sure to subscribe, like, Hulk smash that bell for all notifications, and leave your comments. We want to know what you guys think. Let's get into the big news this week. Of course, we got New York Comic-Con 2020. Without further ado, let's speak geek.
Suit up.
I wanna be the very best.
Talk nerdy to me.
All right, 2020 has been a kind of crazy year, but the cons don't stop, as they say. New York Comic-Con had a lot of reveals here, so we're going to run down a few of those big ones here, starting with Amazon's Invincible official first look trailer for the adult animated series. Amazon Prime Video has released the official trailer for its upcoming adaptation of Robert Kirkman's successful comic book series Invincible, which will make its debut on the streamer in 2021. Here's how Amazon will describe the series. It's an adult animated superhero that revolves everyone around the 17-year-old Mark Grayson, who's just like every other guy his age, except that his father is the most powerful superhero on the planet, Omni-Man. But as Mark develops powers of his own, he discovers that his father's legacy may not be as heroic as it seems. Mark Grayson is being voiced by Steven Yeun, and Omni-Man is being voiced by the talented and beloved J.K. Simmons. Accompanying Simmons and Yeun on this epic animated journey here, we have an impressive lineup of voice actors, including Sandra Oh, Seth Rogen, Jillian Jacobs, Andrew Rannells, Zazie Beetz, Walton Goggins, Jason Mantzoukas, Mae Whitman, Chris Diamantopoulos, I think I said that right, Melissa Zhao, Kevin Michael Richardson, Ray Griffin, and the incomparable Mark Hamill. While no exact release date has announced so far during the panel, Amazon did say, can we expect to see this around 2021? Resident Alien. Now, we got the first 7 minutes of that. It's based on the Dark Horse comic of the same name by Peter Hogan and Stephen Parkhouse. Sci-Fi's Resident Evil follows Andy Tucci, Harry, who's playing the character Harry, an alien that crashes and lands on Earth and passes himself off as a small-town human doctor. Arriving with a secret mission to kill all humans, Harry starts off living a simple life, but things get a bit rocky when he's roped into solving a local murder and realizes he needs to assimilate into this new world. As he does so, he begins to wrestle with the moral dilemma of his mission and asking the big life questions like, are humans worth saving? Why do they fold their pizza before eating it? Well, I can answer that second one because it's delicious. It doesn't really taste any better, but if you got a nice, big New York slice, you gotta fold it. You got to. Be on the lookout for that one. Marvel's King in Black and Venom 200 are the beginning of something new for Eddie Brock. Now, this is coming up with a new series at Marvel. King in Black is the climax of writer Donny Cates and artist Ryan Stegman's Venom saga so far, and the creators are teasing some profound changes for Eddie Brock in the wake of his crossover. Both Cates and Stegman headline Marvel's Venom King in Black panel at 2020 Comic-Con. The duo discussed their latest collaboration and how this new story serves as the final part of a trilogy that began back in 2018 with Venom Rex and continued into last year's Absolute Carnage. But even though the start of King in Black is still nearly 2 months away, they aren't afraid to hint at the major fallout of the crossover event coming in Venom 200. The events of King in Black change Eddie Brock in a profound way. This is a quote from Cates. I know that we here at Marvel say that all the time. We say this is a game-changing thing. This character will never be the same. The universe will never be the same. So, I don't know. We're going to have to see. They really do tout that a lot in comics, but I mean, Absolute Carnage was dope, so hey, maybe this will be a game-changing event in the book. Be on the lookout for that one. Stephen King's The Stand. CBS All Access released the official trailer for its adaptation. Stephen King's The Stand will premiere on the streamer on December 17th of this year. The Stand is Stephen King's apocalyptic vision of a world decimated by plague and embroiled in an elemental struggle between good and evil. The fate of mankind rests on the shoulders of the 108-year-old Mother Abigail, played by the great Whoopi Goldberg, and a handful of survivors. Their worst nightmares are embodied in a man with a sleepless smile and unspeakable powers, Randall Flagg, the Dark Man. He will be portrayed by Alexander Skarsgård. This is going to be dope. If it's anything like the book back in 1978, which I wasn't alive for, but I read, it'll be amazing. Star Trek Discovery. Now, according to a new synopsis for the third season, after making the jump in the second season finale, season 3 of Disco finds the USS Discovery crew dropping out of the wormhole and into an unknown future far from the home they once knew. Now, living in a time filled with uncertainty, the USS Discovery crew, along with help from some new friends, must together fight to regain a hopeful future. This will premiere on Thursday, October 15th on CBS All Access. Be sure to check this one out. Now, this is one that I'm kind of looking forward to myself. Hulu is going to bring us an animated series based on MODOK. Now, the new project comes from Patton Oswalt and Jordan Blum, with Oswalt voicing the classic villain. In the series, MODOK will be trying his best to live a normal, mundane life outside of his villainous work, which is a pretty absurd concept when you consider the character's design. On that Friday morning, Entertainment Weekly released the first photos of MODOK, which revealed the series will be a stop animated, much like a Robot Chicken and Crossing Swords. In addition to MODOK, the Hulu series will include Marvel Comics villains Monica Rambeau and the Super Adaptoid, who Bloom describes as an artist who wants to express himself and hates that he's enslaved to MODOK. MODOK makers are taking a page from Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse and also the Lego Batman movie, where everything from the canon counts and they're pulling anything they want into the show. So be on the lookout. You're going to see a whole lot of crazy stuff in this animated series, and I cannot wait. I think it's going to be hilarious. And finally, we have American Gods Season 3 trailer. The teaser is characteristically unusual. Features clips of young Shadow Moon set against the story of the current day Shadow heading to the Wisconsin small town of Lakeside to escape from his past. As you might expect, this doesn't quite work out, and we see a number of gods, including Ian McShane's Mr. Wednesday, before we see Shadow Moon begin to accept that he's a god too. Yeah, American Gods is a dope show. If y'all not watching that, please go back and binge those first 2 seasons and catch up and get ready for season 3. It's going to be fire. Let's go ahead and jump into my favorite portion of the show, Source Wall.
Man, you come right out of a comic book.
Behold the Source Wall.
Can you read, my son?
Well, that depends.
There is nothing wrong with reading a story and looking at the pictures.
Enough said, Stan. Let's jump right into it. The pull list this week, we have to talk about Batman number 100. The Joker War comes to a city-shattering conclusion as Batman battles the Joker in a brutal, no-holds-barred duel. You would think they're talking about Hulk Hogan and Rip, but whatever. This is a fight 80 years in the making, and its outcome won't just change Batman's life. It will change Gotham City for years to come. Plus, catch the first glimpse of the new villain known as Ghostmaker. And after the sense-shattering conclusion of Joker War comes a pair of short stories that will chart what's to come in Gotham City and Batman. Don't miss this first showdown between Batman and Clown Hunter. Check that one out if you have. If you've been following the story so far, it ties in a nice little bow. A little anticlimactic, but whatever. It was dope. Champions number 1. Now, I'm probably the only person alive that loves the group Champions from Marvel. So I was really dope. I was really kind of hyped up to see that we have a new number 1 for Champions. Champions return in troubled times. A law is passed that goes against everything Miss Marvel, Nova, and Spider-Man, Miles Morales, founded the Champions for. But the world still needs heroes, even if the world doesn't want them right now. After Miss Marvel makes an unexpected and emotional announcement that her team won't go down without a fight, a group of teen vigilantes gather to plan their next move. But the Cradle Task Force is hot on their trail, and there's a spy in their midst. Eve Ewing and Simon DeMeo team up for a dramatic new era of champions that will define Marvel's teen heroes from years to come. We also have the Amazing Spider-Man number 49. Amazing Spider-Man reaches number 850 if we're going, linearly. And we're celebrating Spider Style. As if things weren't bad enough for Spider-Man, with the Sin Eater's reign of terror reaching a riot level, the Green Goblin's back. Yay! Spidey has been through a lot. But even the worst things that have happened to Spider-Man have just been a prelude for what happens here, with an epic main story by Hall of Fame Spider creators. As if it wasn't enough, this issue also boasts a collection of prestige stories by Trade Moore, Kurt Busiek, Chris Bachalo, and Saladin Ahmed. Please check this one out. Now here's one I've been waiting for a minute. Snake Eyes Dead Game number 2. Ugh. Rob Liefeld action hit. Yeah, it's just dope. Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow race against time and each other. There can only be one winner, but no limit on those who fall to the dead game. Dope book. Please go check this one out. And finally, we have American Vampire 1976 number 1. America is broken. Say that again. Trust between the government and the American public has crumbled. Wow. Are we sure this is 1976 or 2020? Anyway, paranoia reigns supreme. Again? It's 1976, and this is the concluding chapter of the Eisner Award-winning American Vampire. Skinner Sweet has exhausted all efforts to regain his lost immortality. With his powers and purpose gone, he is now determined to go out with a bang. At a seedy motorcycle rally in the desert where he's closer than ever to his death wish, Pearl Jones and a shocking partner tracks him down one last time for one desperate mission. The force known as the Grey Trader and its minions are tunneling through the bowels of the world to unleash hell on Earth, just in time for America's bicentennial. With catastrophe looming, it's up to Skinner and Pearl to reconcile and change the course of history, or die trying. The series that launched the careers of superstars Scott Snyder and Raphael Albuquerque returns for 9 final issues and the closing chapter of the legacy of American Vampire. Please check this one out. It is fire. Scott Snyder is fire. Raphael Albuquerque is fire. What else can I say? It's fire. It's just fire. It's en fuego. It's super hot. It's hot sauce. Go get some. All right, I'm being a little too corny right now, so we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back for more DYSG. Let's hop into Watch This.
Watch this, y'all. Thunder. 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 Lannister always pays his debts.
Whoa, dude. I am the villain of the story.
All right, you couch potatoes, The Batman has been delayed to 2022. And The Matrix has moved up. So, The Batman was originally scheduled to be released on June 25th of next year and was delayed until October 1st of 2021 after production forced to stop it due to the coronavirus pandemic. Now the film will arrive even later, March 4th, 2022. Warner Brothers didn't give an explicit reason for the latest delay in the film, but the ever-shifting release schedule and star Robert Pattinson previously testing positive for COVID-19 were certainly the main factors. Now, this is just a series of a few things here, with Warner Brothers making some sweeping changes to its upcoming slate of films, including Shazam 2, The Flash, and Black Adam. And while a number of them were pushed back or just unscheduled completely, Black Adam, the much anticipated The Matrix 4 was given a new date and actually moved it up. Warner Brothers has announced that the Lana Wachowski feature will now be released on December 22nd of 2021, when it was on April Fool's Day 2022. So I guess we all got April Fooled, and it's being moved up to next year. I know a lot of people are saying, like, we didn't ask for Matrix. Yeah, we didn't ask for Batman either, but here we are getting our, what, 1, 2, 3, this is our fifth Batman? Sixth? Who knows? I lost count. But anyway, now this is a story that I was kind of not, let's just go to it. So, Benedict Cumberbatch joins Tom Holland in Spider-Man 3. Both Marvel Studios standalone Spider-Man movies have paired the friendly neighborhood web-slinger with another MCU hero, and it looks like it will be Doctor Strange. The next sequel in Marvel's Spidey saga is expected to begin filming in Atlanta this month. That's why the casting announcements are beginning to trickle out. Last week, it was reported that Jamie Foxx was also joining the film as Electro after having previously portrayed the villain in Amazing Spider-Man 2. Now, here's my take on this. At first, when I first heard about Jamie Foxx reprising his role as Electro in Spider-Man 3 with Tom Holland, I was thinking to myself, and I think I said in this podcast, that it's just a contractual obligation, what's probably an obligation that Marvel has inherited from from Sony, and Jamie Foxx needs to appear in another film to fulfill the contract. Then I heard about Doctor Strange being involved in the film, and that's when I started to believe these rumors. I started to believe the internet that maybe the MCU is trying to set up a Spider-Verse for this next film. I mean, think about it. I mean, Electro was the villain to Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, not Tom Holland's. And when you introduce magic, the rules have been thrown out the window. And with the mention of a multiverse in Spider-Man 2, I mean, it's looking like it's gonna happen, but we'll see until some other casting choices have been made. Now, I'm gonna be geeked if they actually announce that Donald Glover is gonna reprise his role as Prowler in the third Spider-Man film. Now, if they do that, just go ahead and wheel me in. I'm sold. Resident Evil Reboot has a stacked roster for a cast, so check this out. The upcoming Resident Evil movie that has been revealed, and it includes some fan favorites, including Ant-Man and the Wasp, the Umbrella Academy, Arrow, Flash, and more. People who have come from all over the verse of superhero films and great stuff here. So check this cast out, y'all. We have Kea Scalero, Hannah John Kramer, Robbie Amell, Tom Hopper, Avon Joya, and Neil McDonough for the movie headed to theaters. It will be the 7th total Resident Evil movie from Constantine Films, but the first in a new line for the franchise. It is a complete reboot of the story, which became very well known with star Mila Jovovich as the lead. The cast will be conducted and revealed, connecting to their parts. Scoladero is playing Claire Redfield. John Kramer is Jill Valentine. Stephen Amell is Chris Redfield. Hopper is going to be Albert Wesker. Joygia is going to be Leon S. Kennedy. McDonald will be William Brinken. Birkin, sorry. The story takes place on the fateful night in Raccoon City in 1998, and the casting is just phenomenal. Y'all, this is gonna be a dope meal. This movie's gonna be dope. I can't wait for this one. This is what should have been the first time. Maybe not with this cast, but yeah, this is what they should have done the first time around. But that's just me. Speaking of me, it looks like DC didn't listen to me necessarily. So a lot of you probably remember that I did a whole video and a podcast episode about how how DC and HBO Max should do their Green Lantern series. I laid it out 5 seasons. I pretty much gave them the cheat code, if you will. But here we are. DC Comics Multiverse is set to get a shot of willpower for the famed Guardians of the Universe when Green Lantern premieres on HBO Max. It will join other DC Universe shows on the new HBO streaming service. The streamer revealed official details Friday about the upcoming series, for which they have ordered 10 episodes. Now, Green Lantern will explore the history of the different heroes who joined the Corps, with executive producer Greg Berlanti teaming up with showrunner Seth Grammy-Smith to tell the stories of heroes like Alan Scott, Kilowog, Guy Gardner, Jessica Cruz, Simon Baz, and many more in a brand new live-action series. While there's no word yet if the show will be set in the continuity of Zack Snyder's Justice League universe or exist as a separate entity, DC and HBO Max have made it clear that these are lines that can be blurred and explored in the future. If DC fandom taught us anything, that they will be definitely exploring multiverses. Now, Green Lantern will be co-written by Graham Smith and Arrowverse architect Mark Guggenheim. There's no release date yet, but fans can expect a 1-hour drama series that will explore the darkest corners of the universe and the Space Force tasked with protecting them. Fans might also notice a few major names missing, while there is no word of Hal Jordan, John Stewart, or Kyle Rayner. Other new characters like Far Sector's Joel Mullion and Green Lantern's Legacy Ty Pham are also omitted from the logline. Of course, that doesn't mean these characters won't appear. It just seems that those few names have been just missing for now. I have my thoughts, I have my feelings. I just wish DC would really listen to me. Or just listen to fans in general. But, you know, I think it'll be okay. I think it will. We'll have to see. If they're gonna omit 3 big names like these, it's gonna be really hard, I think, for them to do a series, especially with John Stewart missing, because we pretty much got John Diggle confirmed to be John Stewart from the finale of Arrow. But we'll see. We'll see. I will give it a fair shake, like I gave everything else. I even gave the Green Lantern movie a fair shake. So we will see. Let's jump into Thumb Life.
Peace, love, and video games!
It's on like Donkey Kong.
Batman is playing Galaga.
Alright, gamers, Mortal Kombat 11 has revealed some new stuff. Let's jump into it. NetherRealm Studios and Warner Bros. Interactive Entertainment revealed the next DLC characters coming to Mortal Kombat 11 and Aftermath for PS4, Xbox One, Switch PC, and Stadia. More specifically, the company said that they will reveal a pair, and it ended up being a trifecta. We released a MK11 roster, new reveal with a DLC pack of Rain, Melina, and John Rambo in the new Combat Pack 2. According to this reveal, the pair released a brand new trailer providing fans with their first look at the DLC content. Now, since 11 was released back in 2019, it has added to the game's robust roster with numerous DLC characters, more specifically following the cast of fighters of Joker, Spawn, Sindel, Shiva, Fujin, Robocop, Terminator, Nightwolf, and Shang Tsung. In addition to all of these new characters that are also coming on the 17th of November, it looks like they're going to be releasing a MK11 Ultimate Edition, also on the same day. Now, this will be providing sometime around the new next-gen releases of systems, PS5, Xbox Series X, and it will also be released all at once. So it looks like we're going to get everything as far as the DLC goes. And it's going to be available for all systems on November 17th. Be on the lookout for that if you are a big Mortal Kombat fan. Now, this one came out of left field to me. I was kind of wondering what was happening here. It seems that we have had a partnership between Microsoft and GameStop. Now, in a joint announcement, GameStop and Microsoft announced a new multi-year partnership that will mostly see GameStop's back-end solutions move over to Microsoft programs like 365. This basically means GameStop stores will adopt Microsoft programs to help run business operations like sales and inventory, and store employees will use 365 and Teams to communicate. Stores will also get Surface devices for store managers to use. Having worked retail myself, I'm sure the Surface devices will be an improvement to the standard retail computer systems. And, GameStop has confirmed that it will carry all Xbox All Access payment plans that let customers purchase Xbox Series X for about $34.99 a month for 24 months. This isn't particularly news, as Microsoft announced GameStop would be an All Access retail partner back in September, along with Best Buy, Target, and Walmart. So also, just to kill any kind of suspicions, GameStop's 5,000 retail locations are not being converted to Microsoft stores. In fact, most customers will likely not find any immediate impact from the news, other than perhaps seeing more Microsoft Surface devices at local stores. GameStop has been kind of drowning here lately, so maybe this will help them out a little bit. Who knows? We'll see. PS5, the Teardown video. Now, this was fun to watch. PlayStation 5 was torn down by VP Yashiro Otori, the mechanical design department and hardware division specialist, and carefully and meticulously tore down a PS5. It makes the best look at the PS5 we've seen so far. On the front panel, we saw the two USB ports, a USB Type-A for high speed and data transfer, and a USB Type-C for super speed 10 gigabyte transfers. On the rear are a further two USB-A for both super speeds, a LAN port for networking, HDMI out to link to your TV, and AC in for power. If you don't plan on using a LAN port, the console does have Wi-Fi 6 supporting wireless networks, and also Bluetooth 5.1 for connecting devices like your headphones. Otoro also unscrewed the casing and showed off the guts of the machine too. Inside is a one-piece motherboard fitted with an AMD SoC system on a chip that contains the x86-64 AMD Ryzen Zen 2 CPU and the RDNA 2 Radeon graphics processor. On the rear of the board, it also has 8 units of the GDDR6 system memory, clocking in at 16 gigabytes overall at 448 gigabytes. For more on the nitty gritty, you can see the PS5 specs page on their website. And it looks like the SSD drive is soldered directly onto the motherboard with its chips surrounding the custom module, which allows for fast 5.5 gigabytes at raw transfer speeds when you're transferring your game data. Speaking of game data, let's get into some other stuff with PlayStation. It looks like you can transfer your digital games and save data from a PS4 console to a PS5 console using Wi-Fi data transfer. Cloud saves are available for PS5 Plus members, and PS5 customers will find that their digital library will transfer once accounts have been synced. In addition, backwards compatibility instructors, they have revealed that playing digitally purchased PS4 games will be a case of downloading them from your library to your PS5, while discs can be just simply inserted. They also mentioned a few games that will not be backwards compatible, not even popular enough to even mention. So, I mean, for those of you who did play those games, you can look online. They're not even worth bringing up right now. But that's just the kid and how the kid feels. It's not even worth bringing up. Everything else is going to be great. By the way, did you all know that 80% of the pre-orders for next-gen systems are PS5, and the rest is Xbox Series? But yeah, I'm just a Sony guy, I like talking about how great Sony is. Yeah, that's just a kid. Sony, if you hear me, Give me a PS5. Give me one. All right, y'all. I'm tripping. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you all for listening. Please, please follow the content, subscribe to the content, like the content, tell us what you think of the content. Please be sure to visit our website, doyouspeakgeek.com. Follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. As always, live to play to win to live. I speak geek. Do you speak geek?